Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today. And now let's begin. Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome back to the Manifestation Babe podcast. I am having an incredible Sunday after celebrating my grandpa's birthday and decided to sit down in between a couple things that I need to get done today before heading out to Palm Springs tomorrow for an executive team meeting. That's right, me and my executive team, which is essentially me, Brennan, and our integrator, are heading out to Palm Springs to do some quarterly planning for our business. And this is something that we started to implement really this year. And our last meeting that we had of this sort was actually in Bali before our retreat. And it was a great meeting. And this is something that comes from the book Traction. If you're a business owner and you have a team, or at least you're serious about building a team and building a structure and building a business, our Bible has been the book Traction. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think the author is Gino Wickman, because I know you guys are going to ask me. Gino and then Wickman, Wickman. And you can find it on Amazon. And it is, I don't know, like 250 pages long. But it's like a step-by-step of how to build an organizational structure in your business. And it's made so much difference in just 4 months. It's been mind-blowing. Our numbers are increasing. Our team has just this amazing synergy between all of us that hasn't quite existed to this degree or to this level before we implemented Traction. And we now have consistency in like a legit business. And I know I say legit business as if it wasn't a legit business before, but this time it's like we have Monday meetings every single Monday. There's exec meetings. There's just so much awesome stuff going on. And I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. So tomorrow's our exec meeting, and pretty much this week is all team stuff. So I won't have an opportunity to record any podcast at all. So I decided to pop another one out just so that you have something to listen to, especially since today I'm going to be talking about money, specifically, where does money come from? Now, I know you're all money fans. If you're not a money fan, ask yourself why you're not a money fan and why you don't have that kind of relationship with money, because it is your relationship with money and what money means to you that determines how much you manifest of it into your life. And so money for me is a very, very important relationship, and it's something that I value and honor and respect, and that's why my bank account keeps growing. And that's why anyone who comes inside of Rich Babe Academy, or even something as simple as Unleash Your Inner Money Babe, which is my book on Amazon, people get results, and people get amazing results because it's not just about affirmations and not just about, oh, let me just, wish money into my life. It's about rebuilding that relationship with money and seeing it as a very valuable relationship in your life, just like you would see your relationship with your husband or your relationship with your kids or your parents or any other important relationship in your life. When you treat money, your relationship with money, as important as your relationship with your spouse, things are going to change. It completely shifts the energy. And so that's why I love teaching on money. That's why I love talking about it. That's why I always experience an abundance of it. And that's why my students experience an abundance of it, is because we put the work in the energetic work, right? The subconscious work, the relationship work. So I wanted to bring in another episode on money because I know that this is the one that you guys have the most amount of questions about and you get most excited about as well. There is a big misconception. So the reason why I want to talk about where does money come from and why this topic is speaking to me right now is because I see a lot of people, especially people who have jobs or people who are just starting their businesses, they struggle with money manifestation. And it really comes down to this belief or this misconception that money is only manifested if, for instance, people who have like jobs, right? 9 to 5 jobs, or they have a boss or they have a salary, people believe that they cannot manifest money because they have a salary and they say that they have a fixed income. And I get a lot of people who are in 9 to 5 jobs who love their jobs, who don't have any interest in becoming entrepreneurs, who don't have any interest in being business owners, but they really struggle with this concept of money cannot be manifested because I have a job, because my money comes from someone else. My money comes from my boss. My money comes from the company that I work for, right? Another thing, and especially I see this from people who are employees as well, is that they say that the only way to manifest money is if you have a business, because in a business, there is no limit to money, right? And so every single person who's in the business is supposedly quote unquote automatically successful because that's the only way that you can manifest money. And I always remind those people when I talk to them, when I answer their DMs, or when I see their questions pop up in my email inbox, that it's not just, there's no guarantee. When you have a business, there's no guarantee that someone's going to buy your product, right? So energy work is involved regardless of whether you are in a fixed, quote unquote, fixed income or quote unquote, not fixed income. There is still no guarantee that the money is going to come your way, right? So you still need to be doing this energy work and this vibrational work and this money manifestation work in order to manifest more money. And so when it comes to your business, most people who are business owners, they think that money comes from other people, right? Someone's got to come and buy my product. And people who are working 9 to 5 jobs, they believe that their money comes from another person. Again, it's another person, right? It comes from their boss, it comes from the company, it comes from whatever, the pension, I don't know, whatever. And money does not come from other people, you guys. That is the biggest misconception. It flows through people, okay? Because let me tell you, we're on this planet with each other, right? And so we're constantly giving and receiving energy with each other. We're constantly creating energy with each other. And so of course other people are involved. There's what is it, like 8 billion of us together on this planet. And so of course other people are involved when it comes to money, but money does not come from the other people. So if it doesn't come from the other people, right? If it doesn't come from your government, like a lot of people conventionally will say that money is printed by the government, or it's something that your boss gives to you, or something that your customers give to you. It's not about that. Money, where it really comes from, is source, okay? It comes from energy. It comes from the divine. If you think about it, money is just energy, okay? We look at money most of the time as something that is paper in your wallet or a number in your bank account. But I want to share an interesting fact with you that I discovered actually the other day. I read this on the internet and I thought it was fascinating because it goes to show you that money literally does not exist, okay? I know you hear this from law of attraction teachers, manifestation teachers, energy teachers, and we always say that money doesn't exist, it's just energy. But I want to give you guys an actual fact that you can actually Google just to see that it doesn't exist. And the fact is that only 8% of the global money supply exists in physical form. So physical form meaning, let's say paper, right? Or gold or however else money exists. Only 8%. So where is the other 92%, if I'm doing my math correctly? Yeah, 92%. It is all electronic. So that's when you go on your computer, you type in some zeros and ones, right? It's all software. And you look at your bank account, which is again generated by software, zeros and ones, and you see a number in your bank account, it's still electronic. And what is electricity? Okay, if you think about it, electricity is vibration. Electricity is waves. Electricity is frequency. Electricity is energy. And so, if money is energy, where does energy originate? Right? We are all energy. Okay. So, we're all pretty much just a bunch of vibrating atoms. You and me right now, you and me both. The device that you're watching me on, I don't know if it's an iPhone or a computer, or however you decide to, whatever device you use to consume Instagram, all of it is just waves and frequencies and vibrations being translated. And what your subconscious mind does is it fills in the gaps and shows you matter, right? Because you're not going to understand if all of a sudden everything around you is moving and it's just a bunch of energy, you're going to think that you've lost your mind, right? So your mind will create matter and put the building blocks of energy together so that you have some sort of physical matter to work with, because otherwise you would not make sense of the world, right? So if money is created, how is it created? It's created by our connection to source. And so where that brings me back to is when you have an intention for the amount of money that you believe you are destined to create in your lifetime, the amount of money that you want to create in your lifetime, when you align vibrationally with money, there is not a single soul in this entire universe who can prevent you from manifesting that money. And that includes your boss, that includes your business, that includes everything. You as an energetic being and your connection to source transcends all of it. And when you connect vibrationally with money, when you get into alignment with money, when you believe that it's coming your way, when you set your sights on how much that you want, and you let go of the how, and all you do every day is just feel the feelings as if it's already here, and take the action as if it's already here, and become that version of yourself who already has that money. What I like to call it, and this is very quantum physics, but it's collapsing the timelines. And what that means is that, let's say that right now you are on some sort of timeline, right? This is very, very quantum, by the way. And I'm not a master of quantum, but I do love to read about it and study it. And some of my favorite books, like what's that book called? A Happy Pocket Full of Money, talks all about the quantum physics of money and quantum physics of energy and manifestation. And I like to believe, me personally, that there are a gazillion different parallel universes and realities running along all of these timelines all at once, meaning that there's a version of you out there right now who is already living the reality that you want. There's another version out there of you on a different timeline who is that version of you who maybe perhaps didn't make the decisions that you made that got you onto this timeline, right? For me, for instance, maybe there's a version of me in a different parallel universe right now who didn't decide to break up with her boyfriend, who didn't decide to move back to Los Angeles, who didn't decide to start Manifestation Babe, right? So as you can think about it, there's another version of me out there who's probably still living in Seattle with her parents and still struggling, or perhaps there's a version of me in another parallel universe that, for instance, is still applying to medical school or got into medical school and is now graduating, right? There's all these different versions. And what they call it in quantum physics is collapsing the timelines, meaning taking the timeline that you desire most and bringing it to you. And how you do that on a quantum level is by becoming that energy right now. And so when you become that version of yourself who already has that reality, which is, guys, if this is not sounding familiar, step number 2 of my manifestation process, that's how you bring this timeline to yourself, or at least go to that other timeline. You collapse the 2 timelines and then you start living that reality, right? The gap in between of when that happens is as fast as you can get on board with that being. So that version of yourself, let's say that you are currently making $100,000 and you want to make $200,000, or you have a business that you're in which you're currently making 500K and you want to make 1 million, or whatever. Wherever you are and whatever you want to go doesn't matter. The concept is still the same. Okay? So let's say that I'm in a job right now and I'm making $80,000 a year and I really desire to make $150,000 a year. And instead of just being like, oh, it's all dependent on my boss and he's never going to give me a raise and I'm stuck here forever. There's no opportunities out there. And oh my God, you know how like most people tend to think. Instead, you can be a lot more resourceful than that. And you can literally write down or journal or think about or contemplate and ask yourself, the version of myself who's already making $150,000, how do they get there? If you literally put yourself onto that timeline and just ask yourself the right questions, like, what kind of value did they give out to the world in exchange for that money? Or how did they show up at their job to such a degree and such a level that their boss finally noticed how valuable they were to the company? Or maybe there's that version of yourself who is making 150K had an idea that manifested into doubling salary, almost doubling the salary. Like there's just, or the version of yourself who is already making 150K, you know, there's a different belief system. It's a different vibration. And that's really where the work comes in. And that's really that connection to source, right? That's how you connect to source, is you just know that there is an energy out there, or I look at it as like a loving mother or father or parent in the sky, which supplies all your needs unconditionally, where everything that you need is already given to you. And all you have to do is raise your vibration to meet that energy and connect, right? So I know this is like going really woo-woo today and not so practical, but this is the absolute, at least my opinion, the absolute truth, that money does not come from other people. There's not another soul out there. When I hear fixed income or like I have a fixed salary, what I immediately hear from that person is I am a fixed soul. And you're not a fixed soul, right? When I hear like, oh, my business is at a plateau, I immediately hear like, I believe that I'm a plateau, and you're not a plateau. You are constantly expanding and constantly growing and evolving with the universe. And you get to have as much as you want, because it's not your business who's in charge of your income. It's not another person who's in charge of your income. When you align vibrationally with the money that you want to manifest, how I see it is I literally see the universe goes at work for me in my favor and inspires people in the right way to buy my courses, to buy my books, right? To want to work with me one-on-one, to come to my Bali retreat, to come to my events. That's how I see it. It's not that I have to force anyone or think that my money is tied to other people. My money is tied to my connection with source. And source, universe, God, angels, however you want to call it, goes out there on my behalf and inspires other people to come and want to work with me. And the same thing can happen whether you're in a business, you know, for you, whether you're in a business, or for you, if you're in a 9 to 5, you never freaking know when one day your boss, you know, decides to give you a raise because they finally notice what a great job you've done all year long. I mean, there's so many things that can happen. You never know when you're going to wake up tomorrow with this random idea on how to double the company's profits, that when you bring it to your boss and present, you know, your idea, there go the sirens again. Sorry, guys. If you can hear sirens right now, I apologize. You present to your boss, you know, your idea for how the company can double their profits. Like, I kid you not, they're going to want to give you a raise. And so you can't just shut yourself down. You can't just limit yourself, because that's what human beings do, right? That's what egos do. They immediately shut themselves down. They immediately diminish their light because it is apparently, quote unquote, unsafe to the ego to live in abundance. But your higher self knows so much better, and your higher self is already connected with source. And so all you have to do is tap into the supply. Okay. So even though money seems to come from other people, it only comes through other people. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that can prevent you from tapping into your divine and birthright abundance. Okay. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope it wasn't too woo-woo and out there, because I can get even wooer if you want me to. But there is no such thing as a fixed income. There is no such thing as a fixed salary. There's no such thing as fixed business growth. So maybe if you're at a plateau right now, or you think that you have a fixed salary, there's no such thing, because source isn't fixed. And you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And that's to say that you as a spiritual being is fixed or limited, which we all know is not the truth. Right? So I'm curious, are you now taking a sigh of relief? How do you feel right now hearing that? How do you feel right now knowing that there's absolutely nothing standing in your way except for your own damn belief system, right? There's nothing standing in your way except for the way that you choose to think about money. There is no pie in the sky. There is no limit. We can all tap into the limitless abundant supply. So I'm super curious to hear, tag me on Instagram, take a screenshot of you listening to this podcast right now, send me a DM, let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know if this helped you just relax and know that all your needs will be met, because that's just who you are. We can always tap into this abundant flow. And all it takes is us just getting into the vibration and collapsing that timeline, and boom, you are living your ultimate reality. And if you don't believe, here's the danger, guys. Here is the danger. Okay. Sorry. Here's the danger is if you believe that money is fixed or comes from other people, you will shut down this magic that can occur to when those brilliant ideas pop inside your head. Because let me tell you, most of the money that I've created in my business has come from ideas that have popped randomly into my head. I now know it's not random. I now know that it's my communication with the source, and source is constantly flowing ideas my way, right? And I am the person who is meant to manifest the ideas that I get. But when you immediately limit yourself and choose to believe otherwise, or choose to believe that you can't manifest money, or something is preventing you from manifesting money, or you're not worthy of it, or you're not deserving of it, then you just shut down that connection. And then you won't receive the ideas, and then you will get stuck. And then it will feel like there's a dark cloud around you, and that there's absolutely nothing you can do to change your circumstances, which we all know, all of us know that there's no such thing as a victim. No one's a victim. Everyone can take control of their realities. Everyone can take control and change anything that they don't like about their life, right? But it starts with you. It starts with awareness, and it starts with you, and it starts with a different belief system. And because belief drives behavior, that translates into another behavior, taking new action. But you're not going to be motivated, right? You're not going to be motivated to, even if the ideas come, you're not going to be motivated to even act on those ideas if you don't have the belief to back them up. Because there's no way, like if you had this belief that you can't do something, are you even going to try? But if you do believe that you can do something, how much more likely are you to get out of bed and be like, I'm going to make it happen? I'm not just going to try, I'm just going to make it happen because I believe that I can do it. So let me know. If you're watching live right now, leave me a comment. I always go back and read and look, because you guys spark so many more ideas of new content that I create for the podcast and for my live streams and my posts and all this stuff. And thank you so much for sending me your questions. I get the best questions every single day, and you guys just grow me as a teacher. You guys grow me as a manifestation coach. I feel like I get better and better and better every single day because I constantly have to think about how I'm going to answer your questions. And it makes me really think about, okay, how would this work? Or is this the truth? Or how can I reframe this? Or how can I help this person? So I really, really appreciate you guys listening to me today, and also downloading the podcast, as well as leaving a review for the podcast, and of course, following me on Instagram. If you're curious more about money, I am opening up the cart to Rich Babe Academy, opening up enrollment to Rich Babe Academy this upcoming September. So that's coming really, really soon. But before that, we have something even more exciting. The reason why I'm more excited about it now is because it's sooner. But there's going to be an awesome, epic business course coming out in August. But if you don't want to wait and you want to start right now and you want to really master this money manifestation thing, go to Amazon and get my book, Unleash Your Inner Money Babe. It is a 21-day guidebook, workbook to help you literally reframe and up-level your money mindset and manifest $1,000 or more, right? Or more in just 21 days. And the reason why I say more is because some people literally cross out $1,000 and put down $10,000 and they end up manifesting $10,000. So it's literally my step-by-step guide on how to manifest money. If this is brand new to you, go ahead and get that book. And even if you think you already know it, I promise you there's just something that happens when you recommit yourself to the work and you recommit yourself to the vibration and you recommit yourself to the alignment. You get back into alignment and just everything seems to just easily and effortlessly flow your way. All right, you guys, thank you so much again. And again, if you haven't left a review for the podcast yet, I'm giving away a free manifestation hypnosis by going on iTunes, leaving me an honest review, screenshotting it before you send it in, emailing that screenshot to hello@manifestationbabe.com, obviously sending in the review because we're going to double check and make sure that you sent it. And we will send you that manifestation hypnosis just as a free gift and a thank you for listening, for supporting, and for sharing. All right, guys, I love you so freaking much. I hope you have an incredible, incredible day. Mwah! Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @ManifestationBabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.